We're good. Go for it.
Awesome. Hey guys, thank you so much for getting on tonight. Some of us just got back from the Branson Boot Camp, and so we are obviously really excited. A lot of new things that we want to share with you. We really didn't want to wait any longer, so we wanted to share tonight. And I know some of you are going to watch this recording, but we're excited. And I know a lot of you wanted to come and couldn't make it, so we're going to give you some of our biggest takeaways and then some things going forward as well. I want to start, though, with first just being real and open and honest with you about one thing that I think sometimes I probably give off the impression of that everything is easy or everything comes, especially maybe the way I portray things on social media sometimes, but it's not. Honestly, to be honest with you, I haven't had a moment like this in a long time, but on Thursday when I was trying to get everything together to go, I actually had a moment of, for just a second, but I actually thought, is this worth it? Because for me to leave, and it's only 3 days, right? But I had, so I had 3 different babysitters that I'm trying to coordinate. Who's got booster seats, who's picking up my kids when, who's taking them to vacation Bible school, who's taking them to basketball camp, who's taking them to t-ball practice, who's, get their baseball gear ready, get their basketball stuff ready, and feed the gecko, who's taking care of the dog, and all of these things going on. I couldn't get packed. And actually, in the midst of that, one of the things I couldn't get done was water my tower gardens, and they're dead now. But you know what? My kids are alive. That's all that matters. But I'm telling you, I had a moment of like, I could not get everything together and coordinated and organized, and it's hard. So I just wanted you to know that I know it's hard, and every single time you make a commitment to get on a call, to get on the Zoom call, or to show up to an event, that I know that it's hard, and I know that most of you probably had to juggle kids around or find something, find someone to help you with something or change your schedule. And so I totally get it, and I know that it's hard, and we really appreciate and respect and want to help you as much as we can, everyone, for even just making that commitment to get on these calls or Facebook parties or get out of town. And so anyway, just wanted to start with that, and in the midst of all of that, and when I had those feelings on Thursday, and of course once I got there, it's a million times worth it, right? And even in today, one of my friends who was training, she gave us really 2 things that were exactly what I was thinking in all of this. And one was, she said, don't ask others to do what you are not willing to do yourself. And, so for me as a leader, of course I'm going to make commitments to go to every single conference. I'm going to be at every single big event that's in the area. I'm going to show up for you guys. And, I'm never going to ask you to do anything that I'm not going to do. So, part of that is, yes, challenges and figuring out how to work everything. The other thing she said was a leader must be what he wants the team to become. Okay, and we had conversations about this while we were there. We want our team is fun, guys, and we want to hang out with y'all. Okay, we want our team to become. We want this culture of getting to events and spending time together and having fun and building this family, this culture of just, we're going to Branson Boot Camp, we're going to conferences, and we're doing it, and it's fun, and it's, us building relationships. And so those things really stuck out to me, today. But then, like I said, I got home, my kids were alive, the dog was alive, and the gecko was alive. Okay, the kids were all dead, but that's okay. I'm all right with it, okay? It was a great weekend, and it was still a million times worth it, even though I have to start both my towers all over tomorrow. It's okay. It's all right. So with that, I am going to I've asked a few people to share a little bit. Courtney is brand new rep, and this was her very first Juice Plus experience of anything. And so, Courtney, you probably need to unmute yourself. I'm just going to let Courtney share whatever she wants, really, but your thoughts and, maybe kind of something you took away from it.
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay? I think this is my first time actually talking on here. Okay, well, I wrote some things down that I wanted to share, but first I just wanted to say kind of what I expected it to be like before I went. And first of all, whenever they first asked me to go, I said no. There's really no real reason. I guess I was kind of just making excuses, and that's also something they talked about this weekend is don't make excuses. So I'm glad they kind of stayed on me, and I ended up going and having a great time. But I kind of just expected it to be like I guess kind of like a classroom, sitting there, taking notes, listening to someone speak and say, this is what you need to do. This is how we do. I don't know. I was kind of expecting something like that, just like a quiet little classroom. But I was so surprised that it was nothing like that. And apparently this was a small event, but there were so many people there, and it was loud. Everyone was having fun. Everyone was dancing, clapping, singing, and it was nothing like what I expected. And just to tell you guys a little bit about it, there were a lot of different speakers from all different levels, and they kind of just told their story and where they came from and where they plan to go. And it was just really inspirational to me, just seeing the people outside of our team and hearing their stories. And I guess it kind of made me realize that I can do it, even though I know I feel like it's impossible sometimes, but seeing all these people and hearing their stories and where they came from just made me realize that it's worth it, and it's definitely doable for anyone. Anyone can do it if they want to, if that's what they want to do. Anyone can do it. So that's kind of what I got out of it, and it was just so much fun. It was so fun hanging out with our team and hanging out with people from different teams, meeting different people, and so I think I met some nice new people that will be lifelong friends, and started to, I guess, grow relationships that I already had with some of you. But a few things that they talked about that I wanted to share. They talked about reaping what you sow. So for me, looking back, I guess I didn't sow, am I saying that correctly? I didn't sow enough previously to be able to reap any benefit right now. So I think I'm just expecting to send a message to someone and then something happen right away. But that's just not going to work. So looking back, I could have done a lot more, and I would be reaping the benefits right now. So going forward, something that stood out to me, they said, plant more than you plan to harvest. So for me, I think that's going to look like, instead of sending 5 messages a day, but instead of sending 5 messages a day, I'll send 20 messages a day, and I might just get one response, but again, reap what you sow. Something else that stood out to me this was a really big one, and Jody and I kind of talked about this on our car ride home. Be a farmer, not a hunter. So in that, it's about nurturing your relationships with people, and farmers going to go and plant seeds, and they're going to water their relationships, and that's what I plan to do, rather than going out as a hunter and planning to for my next meal. I'm going to water it and nurture it, and hopefully it'll grow into a really beautiful flower. So, so yeah, that's something else that I really enjoyed. Just nurture your relationships, because that's what it's all about, new relationships, and hopefully inspiring someone just with your kindness and your friendship.
Very good.
Yeah, that is awesome. Thank you for sharing. And, you know, I think what you said, well, all of it, but, you know, about hearing, it's so important to hear from other people. You know, you've heard from AJ and Jody and me a lot, but to get there and actually see the big picture and see so many different people from so many different walks of life doing it, I think that's what's so impactful and so important about getting to a big event, you know, to get that vision. But that's awesome. Thank you. Jody, you want to unmute yourself? And
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Mhm.
Okay. It was really weird on Friday evening and Saturday, the things that I was picking up, the speakers weren't exactly saying, but it came to me in a underlying message, and I wrote the things down that while they were speaking, what I took as an underlying message to me. And one of them was, do well with what's been given to you. Another was same thing what Courtney said, was about the relationships. And I've always believed that relationships are everything. And no matter what aspect of your life, whether it's personal, business, or whatnot, relationships are huge. Have fun doing whatever it is that you choose to do. And that's it. That's no matter what it is that you're choosing to do. If you're choosing to do something, make sure you're going to have fun with it, you know? And it's all about the life that you want for yourself. It's not about what others might want for you, but it's about what you want for yourself. And if you want the whole shebang, go for it. But it's really important to make sure that you stay true to yourself. And that kind of tied into something else with, don't dictate another person's happiness, but don't let somebody else dictate your own. Which kind of falls back with the other state. Make sure you're doing stuff that's going to make you happy. And somebody did touch on it a little bit, was, you know, and Allie's probably going to touch on it more, is, you know, meeting people where they are. Well, each one of us is in a different spot within our lives and within this company. And the people that we're trying to reach with Juice Plus, they're at a different part in their health journey and in their lives as well. And you've got to make sure that you're meeting them where they are. And I think that you've also got to realize where you are as well. And wherever you are, it's okay. It's okay to want more. It's okay to want to make your life your own and be happy with what you have. And in the end, if you're happy with what you have, then that's good. And the only thing that was like literally said today was at the end when Jackie was speaking, she said that what's right for you is your perfect. It's not anybody else's perfect. It is your perfect. So make sure with however you choose to do and wherever you choose to go with this business, make sure that it's what you want and where you want to grow, and know that we've got a really strong upline, and know that they are, if you're wanting to do it, they're willing to help you do all of that. And kind of not on the same line was something about social media that I just think was a really good idea, good thought, was 70-20-10. Basically 70% of the posts that you post should be about you, your family, your life, whatever it is that you do. 20% could be about your health journey, and still not necessarily mentioning Juice Plus or Tower Garden or anything like that, but just about where you are with your own particular health journey. And then 10% if you choose to, you could post about Juice Plus or the product or whatever. And I kind of look at that as like maybe like I know sometimes we've got and stuff going on throughout the month or whatnot. It's certain months. But I think that 70-20, 20-10 is a really good rule to follow, because I know some people aren't quite sure of what they should post or how often they should post. But I think that kind of gives you a good breakdown, and you can also tweak it to how you feel about it.
Awesome. Thank you, Jody. I think, everything you say is great. Yeah. And I think, the part, decide what you want to do. You're right. Make that decision for yourself and then own your own decision. So if you say, hey, I want to become a sales coordinator, then that's great. That's what you want. That's where you are. And then, so own that decision and, let us know and let us help you. I think that's a huge part of it. So thank you. AJ, do you want to share anything?
Sure.
Okay.
Jody had touched base. Yes, Jody had touched base on, meeting people where they are. I think when people join our business, we get excited. First of all, we usually like the person. We want to spend time with the person. And we want to see good things for these people. What I think we run into is that life does happen, and you do need to meet people where they are. If they're happy at DD and that's where they want to be, that's fantastic. If they do have bigger goals, then we have to definitely embrace that for sure. One thing that Leslie had talked about was every team member is a blessing. There are some superstars that are going to be on the team. There are people who just want to be part of the group. And that's absolutely great. Those are the best people to have around. Usually they'll be planning events while you're at events and just loving on you, and you love right back. I really loved that. Every dad knows a stud. I loved this, because maybe you have a pretty inactive person who's just kind of wanting to do their own thing with the DD, covers their own costs. But they're still sharing the product. They're still getting customers. They're still going to have raving customers, and they might have somebody that turns into an awesome distributor for them. So it is very important to keep touching on people who are still active as far as that goes, because you never know, who they are looking to bring on as well. Leslie also communicated this, and she said, with your business, with your customers, be clear, be consistent, and communicate. So that is one thing I think I took away from this about how to communicate with reps, and, setting them up right away from the beginning, and, having consistency, checking in with them just as much as I hope that they're checking in with me. And then it's just that communication piece. What works? How are we communicating? Voxer, message, whatever, we'll figure that out so it works the best. I do have some team members who just, unfortunately, technology doesn't work well with them, and so we have to look at a different way. I need to be adaptive to what is going to work for them, and then I need to give them the resources. I need to provide them with all that, and then I kind of need to just step back and see how they're going to go with this. I'm going to provide the events as far as online presence, live events, whatever, but then from there, it's up to them how far they definitely want to go. Now, we did touch a lot on the marketing plan, and Brian Rose did an amazing job. I can't even say these speakers were amazing. They were exemplary. It was so good. Every time I go to a conference, it was the best one. I'll go to another one. It was the best one. But he really did touch base on how important it is to have a qualified business. And he gave us a handout that discusses how you can make, money, but even at the VF or sales coordinator level, if you have 24 customers versus if you have 40 customers, and how it's a substantial difference for residual income, and how it is important to build that customer base. And so that's something I personally am going to be working on. I have a lot of customers turned reps. Well, now it's my job to replace that, and I want to then, obviously pass that on to my new reps as well. It's great that you have reps in this, but you got to have customers, and you got to service the customers, and we got to take care of them, and everything. So that is something that I really, was excited about, just seeing the numbers. Sometimes you don't see it like that, and he's a numbers guy. He loves the marketing plan, so it's great. We have a lot of videos with him. And then also they are doing the incentive for this summer. I had not seen it, so I'm super excited about it. Basically, for the month of June, July, and August, if you have a qualified business, you can earn different goodies, I guess you could say, for a conference. A lanyard that says you're customer qualified. And it's a big deal to be customer qualified. You do realize that. It is a very big deal. And then if in July you get a ribbon, and then in August, what I want is this really cool bag, this messenger bag. And so they're really trying to reward the people who are customer qualified. So as an FYI, that is coming up for conference, and I myself am super excited about it. It's a nice goal for people to have. Maybe you don't want to get to sales coordinator. Maybe you don't want to get up the ladder, but this is a good goal to have, is just to be customer qualified every month. So that's what I got, Allie.
Great. Thank you. So I have so many things, honestly, that I got that I'm not going to, I don't want to keep you on here all night, so I'm going to give you just a few in a nutshell of, and they're random, okay, because I took, I'm going to tell you something from here or there because I don't want to spend too much time on here. One really big thing that I think is so important, and I heard it several times, is that you don't have to be in the perfect container to share Juice Plus. And when they're saying that, as in, you don't have to be this totally fit, health, picture perfect image of health person. Your kids don't have to be perfectly healthy. Your parent, you don't have to fit in this perfect health image of what, because we're a health and wellness industry, to share Juice Plus. Juice Plus is fruits and vegetables, guys, and it's for everyone. It's from little babies to elderly, from very high level athletes to, maybe somebody who needs to lose weight. It's fruits and vegetables. And it's so important to understand, to know that for yourself, for no matter who you are or where you're at in your health journey, that you can help just as many people. That, and I didn't, I think I got that big time this weekend, is that some people feel, like maybe they don't have the right platform if their family isn't this picture perfect image of health. And it's so important to understand that is not what it's about at all, because Juice Plus is for everyone. It's fruits and vegetables, and no matter who you are or where you're at in your health journey, you have the ability and the responsibility to share this with everyone. So that was like shouted at me this weekend, and I loved it. Another thing that several people said, and I've heard it a lot, but just our role and what we're trying to do in helping people get healthy, sometimes it might not seem incredibly rewarding, because you will never know the diseases that people don't get because of you. So maybe, we heard a lot of stories, somebody started Juice Plus because their mom had a heart attack, or they had a major disease, cancer, whatever it was in their family, which was what made them start Juice Plus. But for us, as we share this, you don't have any idea how many diseases people are not getting because of you, because you were bold enough to share this with the people that you care about. So I think that's a really big one too. And then they had, most of you know Dr. David Phillips and Heidi, and you've probably seen that I posted a couple of those videos on our distributor page. So just check that out. They answered a couple of the, some frequently asked questions that I know some of you guys want to hear the answers to. So look at those. I shared those there. Another thing I got, be the best teammate on your team. Do what you wish they would do. So, and that kind of goes along with what I was talking about, in the beginning. So you can't, for us, and especially if you're a leader or if you have anybody underneath you on your team, we can't get frustrated. Maybe if somebody isn't doing their HLP or hasn't reached out to their top 10 yet, if you're not doing it, how many think about yourself. So, how many HLPs did you personally, help promote this month? How many, you reached out to everybody on your top 10 list? And so, if you want people to do it, show up, show up to events. You want anybody on your team to go, you can't expect them to go if you don't go, so show up. That's, again, I had a hard time getting there with, like I said in the beginning, 3 babysitters and booster seats and all that going on, animals and dead tower gardens, and I made it. And you just got to show up, okay? If you want your team to be there, do everything you want them to do. And I heard, because of the speakers, because most of them had kids, I heard several times, and I've always said this, but never, ever, ever let your kids be the excuse or make your kids be the excuse. They are our reason. Your kids should never, ever be the reason you don't go to an event. They should be the reason you are going. And, I loved how, what Jackie said, she said, you'll never know what you're going to want to say yes to one day. And she has kids, but anyway, her whole story, just being able to say yes to her kids and being able to actually have them graduate from Baylor with no college debt and be able to buy her daughter the horses that she wanted. So maybe she missed a couple T-ball games or, a little 5-year-old soccer game. You think that her kid, she's like, you think my kids remember that I wasn't there at his baseball game when he was 8? No, he knows he just graduated college with 0 debt. So just putting things into perspective and what we're really, and that was, for me, that's big right now, because I obviously missed a lot of things for my kids to be there this weekend, and it is so worth it because of the opportunities and the dreams that we have for their future and some of the things they want to do. It is so worth it. And so talking about that, I want to tell you guys all right now, put on your calendars, seriously, get out a piece of paper and write down these dates, because if you want to do this, then they're really, like Jody said, everyone's at a different place, but I'm going to tell you, if you're at a place that you want to make business, if you want to build a little bit of a business, then there really are no excuses. It's just priorities. So it's where your priority is at the time. It's instead of, again, it's definitely not our kids. But here's some dates for you. The first one is the San Antonio Summit, is July 15th and 16th. If you didn't make it to Branson, put that one on your calendar. The early bird pricing it goes to the 17th. So you have until the 17th to still get it at the early bird pricing, and that's going to be awesome. I know the trainers who are going to be there. And then the next one is October. Absolutely, St. Louis conference. It's not going to be this close again for a long time, guys. October 20th through the 22nd. Just put it on your calendar now so that nothing else can come up. That's already on there. So if something else comes up, well, you've already got something planned. And then the next 2 Branson boot camp dates, which we would love. I mean, we want to make Branson like our team getaway twice a year. It's a girls' weekend. I mean, we stayed in Grandma's house, and if you were there, you'll know what I mean. It was awesome, all right? And we want our whole team to experience that. So January 27th through 29th, and then June 9th and 11th next year. Both of those, Branson, those are the next 2 Branson boot camps, and we would love to see everyone there. And so I wanted to keep this call to about 30 minutes, and it is. We really just wanted to wrap this up, and we're going to share this with everyone. We want to share a video that one of the speakers shared here that I just love. And when you watch this video, and it's really important to, I think they speak through it, but read the words. Listen to what the guy is saying, not just watching the people dancing. Because I think, and if after you watch it, you're going to know what I mean. I think all of us at one point, when we first started, for sure, probably felt like the guy without his shirt on, the very first guy dancing without his shirt on. And, I'm sure I did, and everybody else were concerned that people might think we were crazy, or maybe just even trying to have that first conversation with your spouse or your family about, hey, I'm going for this. and then everybody thinks you're crazy. But I love this video. We're gonna share it here, and then we'll probably post it on our team page later. So anyway, AJ, do you have that?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore. It's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. It takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out, you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd, and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers, because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is over-glorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
Okay.
I guess it was.
It's okay. It's okay. You can unshare your screen. Yeah. No, it was, I don't know if it was a little bit choppy for you guys, but we're going to post it. It is awesome. Okay. And I think you got the gist of it. It's hilarious. It's awesome. I think we've all probably felt like the lone nut at one point or another. And, you know, I think, like they say, nurture your followers. You know, if you're on this call, then you've at least got, we've got customers, or you've got reps underneath you. You've got somebody who is willing to stand up and do this with you and follow you. So really, you know, nurture them. It's about them. You know, the people who are doing this with you are the people who are helping you be successful and turning you into a leader. So really pour into them. And it's a great video. We're going to share it. And it's encouraging for anyone who's ever felt like that crazy shirtless dancing guy, that even one person can start a movement. So anyway, we're going to post that and you can watch it later, but thank you for getting on. And AJ, you can stop the recording if you want. And if anybody has any just questions, just about anything, I'll stay on for a minute.